In 2019 is when I picked up the Nikon Z6. And ever since then, I have been transitioning from the Nikon F mount to the Nikon Z mount. In this video, I'm talking about why you should probably consider it as well. What's up guys, it's Project Photography, back in another video, and today So in 2016, I picked up my first Nikon camera, the Nikon D5500. It was an F-mount camera, and at the time, that was the only thing I had. It was a nice budget camera I picked up from Best Buy, out of all places. Used it to create my YouTube videos and do some photography on the side and so on. Ever since then, I have been building up my Nikon F-mount system until 2019 was when I picked up the Nikon Z6. And that camera is absolutely incredible. It's the same camera I have right now. It's the camera that's filming me right now in this video. And ever since that moment of picking up that Nikon Z6, I've been transitioning out from the Nikon F mount to the Nikon Z mount. It slowly started with getting the Nikon Z mount, not really having any Z mount lenses except for the 24-70 f4, and that was honestly a pretty good lens, but it didn't necessarily satisfy the needs that I had at the time, being a landscape photographer. The next move for me was moving on to the 14-30 and so on, and slowly going from my Nikon F mount stuff to the Nikon Z mount. And it's been a great transition. I've really loved it. I really enjoyed it. And I did it for a few reasons. And one of those main reasons is that I wanted to keep the weight down from my Nikon F mount stuff to my Nikon Z stuff. F mount lenses were DSLR lenses, and they were not light by any means necessarily. If you compare a lens like the Nikon 14-30 f4 to something like the 16-35, which is supposed to be the equivalent wide angle lens for the Nikon F mount, you can see that the Nikon Z mount lens is just so much lighter. Because it's a mirrorless system, you're able to have those lightweight lenses and bring the weight down. And for me as a landscape photographer, just as a photographer in general actually, you want to have the most lightweight gear possible because you don't want to put strain on your back when you're hiking up 10 miles or so with camera gear. As a landscape photographer, every ounce and gram matters. So moving to the F mount was integral for me as a landscape photographer at the time, and even now as just a photographer and videographer. In addition to that, the F mount adapter actually does add a little bit of weight. It's not a huge amount of weight, but it is something noticeable when you're actually using the lenses. And one thing too is just when you're using a Nikon Z mount lens versus an F mount lens, the Z mount lens is just way better balanced. It's meant to be on this system, and you could just tell it and feel it by the use of it. And the other reason for me to switching is actually for the video experience. The video experience with the Nikon Z system is far superior to the Nikon F mount. And when I'm actually creating these YouTube videos for you guys, having the video be crisp, clean, autofocus is completely smooth every single time is absolutely massive for me. It helps in the experience of making videos, and it makes these videos just better for you guys as a whole. And when I'm going on my photography and YouTube career and journey and all this sorts of stuff, I want to make sure to bring the best quality stuff possible. So moving to that Z mount was absolutely integral in that sense as well. And speaking about video, in addition to actually having the video be better with the mirrorless system, the autofocus on the lenses are all extremely quiet. This means that I can use literally any lens that I want for video and not have to worry about it, making noises, having the motor creak and so on. When I was initially doing my research, I was thinking, maybe I just have an F mount adapter with something like a 20mm f1.8G, but that is an AFS lens, not an AFP lens like the Nikon Z mount lenses are. And for me, that's just not okay when you're actually shooting a video. You don't want to have that noise in there. You want to keep it consistent across the board. And mirrorless just has inherent advantages over DSLRs that I really saw and really appreciated, and maybe ultimately switched from an SLR to a mirrorless camera. I mean, as you guys know, I really love my SLRs. I think they did a great job in terms of getting what I wanted, and I love the experience of using SLR, but the experience with a mirrorless camera is just different, and honestly, it's superior. Being able to see the EVF and know what you're looking at, you know the exposure you're shooting at versus having to kind of guess with SLRs is a huge jump. The smaller bodies for me was actually huge because, like I said, weight is absolutely massive for me. In addition to all that, the new AF technology is absolutely stunning with these cameras, what they can do. There's a bunch of other benefits, but those are kind of the main ones that I saw, and those were kind of my main reasons for moving over from the Nikon F mount to the Z mount. And I think after all this time, I can say it's 100% worth it. But here's some other reasons why you might want to consider switching to the Nikon Z mount fully, and this includes lenses, bodies, and everything. One of them is that the lenses are actually insanely good. These lenses are some of the best lenses I've ever used. Every review that I make on this channel about these lenses, every time I'm like, wow, yeah, these lenses are absolutely incredible, they're stunning, etc., etc., etc. I feel like I make the same review every time. And that's honestly a positive thing because every single one of these lenses are amazing. Everything down from the 28mm to the 24 to 70, from the cheapest lens to the most expensive lens. Every lens is incredible when it comes to image quality. That's one thing that you can really expect from these lenses and the Nikon Z system. On top of it, the lenses are extremely well built, they're well designed, and they just give you a great overall experience in handling with the Nikon Z mount because, you know, that's what these lenses are made for. With the smaller bodies, you're able to get smaller lenses as well. So overall, a better lens experience. I like them more than the Nikon f-mount lenses for sure. And on top of it, I kind of mentioned this in the previous one, but the new video technology is absolutely massive when it comes to the Nikon Z system. If you care about video at all, you kind of have to switch to the Nikon Z system. It's really useful for me being able to switch between video and photo pretty consistently. When I'm out there shooting landscape photography, I'm constantly switching between video and photos. I'm getting the photos that I want. I'm also switching to video and doing the B-roll that I actually wanted to do. It's absolutely massive because you don't have to have two separate bodies, you know, going out one of them doing the video, one of them doing photos. It decreases the clutter, it makes it more streamlined process and so on. So if you do both photo and video, switching to Nikon Z system is honestly just the best thing you can do. I know the Nikon Z9 has the 4K 120, it also has 8K 30, so having those updated video specs to be kind of current with where the market is right now is absolutely massive. And this next point is the main reason why you probably should consider switching, is that this will be the main Nikon ecosystem moving forward. It's not to say that f-mount isn't a good ecosystem, because it is, but it is coming to the end of its days. You know, the Nikon Z mount is going to be the future of the Nikon ecosystem moving forward. You're not going to be able to really get and purchase new Nikon f-mount stuff. You know, they're going to be phasing out the DSLR f-mount stuff over time, and that's just the progression of how technology goes, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's just how it is going to be moving forward, and you really don't want to be left in the dust. You want to be able to take advantage of the new technology that's coming out, because the new stuff that's coming out is absolutely incredible, absolutely stunning, and the Z mount is going to be on the breaking edge of that technology. You're not going to be able to get the new lenses, the new autofocusing systems, the new cameras that come out, because you're going to be stuck in the f-mount system. And it's not a bad system, like I said, but it's not new and improving, and it's not updating. It's not becoming a better ecosystem overall. It's staying pretty stagnant because they're not updating it. The Nikon Z system is just the way to go if you really want to move forward with the camera industry as a whole. So for me, that is kind of the main reason why you really should consider switching over to the f-mount. They've already discontinued a lot of Nikon f-mount lenses, bodies, and it just continues to be discontinued because they're really just moving forward with the Nikon Z mount. Now, I've talked a lot about why you should consider switching over from the f-mount to the Z mount, but here's a few reasons why you should hold your horses a bit, consider picking up some f-mount lenses and so on, because I think these are legitimate, valid reasons. First one for me is that Nikon f-mount lenses are cheaper. I buy all of my camera gear used, even my Nikon Z stuff, I always buy used. And when it comes to the Nikon f-mount, it is vastly cheaper than the Z mount. And for good reason. You know, you have more f-mount lenses out there in the wild. You have more people, you know, selling their f-mount lenses to move to the Z mount, and that's an opportunity for you to pick up cheap gear at a relatively good price with good performance. The Nikon f-mount still has incredible performance across the board when it comes to the lenses. It isn't as good as the Nikon Z mount, but it is still great performance nonetheless. And for me, I've used a lot of the f-mount stuff, and if you really want to get into the mirrorless system on a budget, grab the f-mount adapter and grab some of the f-mount lenses, because lenses are one of those things where it's not going to really degrade in terms of performance over time. It's not like a DSLR body, it's not like camera bodies in general, where they get updated really fast and so on, and become pretty outdated very quickly. Lenses are one of those things where you can invest in it and feel pretty confident about your investment. A lot of photographers I know still use the Nikon f-mount lenses, but have the adapter to put them on the bodies. So that is one thing that I think is really important. Having a cheap, good, affordable lens that still fulfills your needs as a photographer, but you don't have to break your back and break the bank to spend money on. And the other main reason is that just some of these lenses have not been converted into f-mount counterparts. For example, the Nikon f-mount AFS 105 E f1.4 has not been converted to the Z mount. There's still no equivalent to that, and that is a very unique, one-of-a-kind lens that I know a lot of photographers love and appreciate. So if you like lenses like that, I think is a great example. The Nikon 200-500 is a lens that I personally have that I have not had a chance to get a 200-600 because it just isn't out yet. So having lenses like that fulfill your needs as a photographer that Nikon just hasn't come up with equivalents yet, that's a great way to like get good lenses and fulfill the needs in your bags, because Nikon just simply has not made lenses like that. I know, for example, a 7300 that's not on the roadmap for the Nikon Z mount anytime soon. So lenses like that might not be a bad pickup because they are f-mount and they're just nothing equivalent yet. So those are some reasons to keep your f-mount stuff. But in conclusion, the Nikon f-mount has been absolutely stunning for all these years. I've absolutely enjoyed the Nikon f-mount for the time that I've used it, but it has become outdated. The Nikon Z mount is the mount to move forward with. I mean, there's just so many reasons to consider switching to it. The mirrorless system, first of all, is incredible. The lenses that they have for the Nikon Z mount are absolutely stunning. Just the technology that's in it for video is incredible. Lightweightness, light bodies, all that type of stuff are all benefits that you will realize if you move over from the Nikon F mount to the Z mount. And the great thing too is that the Nikon Z mount is becoming more affordable than ever. You can pick up a solid, full frame body on eBay for easily $1,000, and that's really solid considering the alternatives like things like Canon are not cheap, Sony is not cheap. Nikon has a good, affordable ecosystem that I feel like if you want to get into full frame mirrorless cameras and gear, that this is the best way to do it. I love my Nikon stuff, and I know you will as well if you jump right into it. So if you have any questions about the switch from the Nikon F mount to the Z mount, let me know down in the comment section down below. What are some questions that you have about the Nikon Z mount? I know there's a lot of people that still use their Nikon F mount, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's going to be a day where Nikon discontinues all Nikon F mount products, and that's going to be a sad day. That's going to be an end of an era, truly. But for the time being, it's still going strong, and the Nikon Z mount is the mount I'm going to be using moving forward. So let me know down in the comment section down below what do you think about this video. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for experiencing the world with me today.